Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Probably making a mistake doing this, but I'm trying to get redemption for the horrible short track races that I had and trying to see if I can get a better one. So we are here in the SK Modified Fixed Series at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Could be going out for qualifying.
The pit lane speed limit is
It's
35
an
miles
early
per hour.
race, so field's
Your
really
exit is
weak.
clear. Watch the
I
white
believe I'm
line.
actually car
Alright,
number
Jake.
2,
You've
either
got
2 or
2
3.
laps to get the job done, mate.
So hopefully I could just try to break away and have a clean and easy race. Safety rating, iRating, and oval side have gotten torched horribly the last few races, so it's all about rebuilding now. I'm going to try to see if I can do anything to get a little bit closer. So try to qualify as close to the front as I can to make it a little bit easier to not deal with as much traffic. First lap isn't going to be terrible, but not great. Kind of overdrove one there. 3rd place to start, so we've got a couple people that are pretty quick. And I missed that corner a little bit, just didn't quite get to the throttle early enough, so a little bit slower.
That's the end of the session, P3.
I'll take a 3rd place start. Not very far off of 2nd, which is the one. One I expected to be quick. The 11's actually really fast. Wow, that's impressive. In almost a full 10th ahead of the 12, so it should provide us a good chance to break away if everybody runs, the way they're supposed to. Get paints refreshed. Just to make sure I got everybody's in. 40 laps here. It's been a while since I've run one of these, so we'll see how it goes. I literally have not changed anything. This is all default. The only difference, some people may run the sheet metal instead of plexiglass because I'm on the single screen. I need the view out the left side, so I run the plexiglass, but everything is literally default. And yeah, let's get gridded up. Pull up session best lap because that optimal was based on a open setup race at a different time when the track conditions were different, so it is not relevant at all. Just try to keep it as clean as I can and hope that I can salvage something out of this race in terms of, not losing too much in the way of iRating, because I'm going to be a little less aggressive and not take quite as many gaps to avoid contact, and hopefully just be able to keep it as clean as possible. Get some heat in the brakes and the tires. Not that we're really using brakes, but at least helps raise the core temps. The tires some. Be getting the one to go to start this time. If qualifying pace holds true, I feel pretty confident we should at least be able to finish 3rd, and starting on the inside should at least make it a little bit easier to try to break away and keep up with the one. More so not to try to get by him, but just, again, to try to break away from the rest of the field. The outside, you definitely can contend a little bit more. It's going to be kind of similar to the way the late model race was. So I don't know if I'll be able to get by the 11, especially since he out-qualified us, but I'm just going to do the best I can to see if I can push for any position games by the end of the race and see what we can do. It's really tough to pass here in these cars. It's so momentum-based. You can't be off the throttle very much, and it's just tough to, unless somebody makes a mistake, it's tough to find anything. Okay, got the 12 cut down. One jumps a little bit sooner than me. So we still got the 12 to the outside. We're just going to try to watch him. 11 got a better start. 12's just going to run incredibly aggressive, so this might be one of those where I let him go.
Keep it together, hold your line.
Because I got a feeling he's going to cut down on us.
He's still there.
Trying to give him all the room I need to. I don't want anything to happen.
He's still there. P4. Still there.
Not happy about losing a spot off the start, but, just is what it is. Us running side by side is also allowing the 1 and the 11 to break away.
Still there.
Almost cleared them that time.
The leader's just done it. 18.00. P3. The car ahead has just done it.
Not quite clear yet.
The guy behind has just done it.
There was contact. That was a bit of me drifting up, but him coming down off the wall.
Clear up high.
Should be good now to slide up in front of him. Hopefully he doesn't try to dive it in too much. Get back to running the line that is the quickest and I'm most comfortable with. And we'll see if we can close back up on the 11 at all. You can see now that I'm able to run that late entry, late apex, how much faster I'm able to be.
The guy behind has just done a 18.00.
And that 938's probably not even that fast compared to what the two up ahead are doing. But we're pulling away a little bit. 11 gets a bit of a wide exit out of 4, almost got the wall.
That lap was a
It's probably the only way we're going to really catch him is if he keeps doing that and makes a mistake, or if, you know, I almost make a mistake. But we're definitely closing back up on him, pulling away from 12, so at least at 3rd place looks like what I predicted at the start of the race. A little bit of a late entry there into 1. Overdrove it a bit. Definitely closing up on the 11. Just trying to figure out where I can go to get around him.
Got one inside.
Don't really want to run the outside with him if I can avoid it.
They're low.
See if we cut underneath them off
Right.
2. Just going to make the pass tougher, but
He's still there.
kind of gave us the opening.
Hold your line.
Trying to keep the car as low as I can. He's coming down off the wall. I can't give him much more than half the track.
Keep it together. Hold your line. Keep it steady. Still
This will
there.
draw the 12 back in, but
Still there.
I got to try to take whatever shot I can. We're able to clear him. Let's see if he tries to look for a crossover going into 1.
V2. You've just done
I think we're good, so
128.
probably too far back to ever do anything with the 1, but hey, we picked up a spot from where we started, did it cleanly without any incident points. I will take that right now. Now the key is just to not overdrive things as we have 30 laps to go. And let the, hopefully pull away from the 11 and let the 12 and the 3 deal with him. Check the gap this time by to the 1 to see if we're even gaining on him. Looks like it's about 1.6 at the line. Pretty clean race though. I mean, we've got the 9 who's on the relative up ahead, but haven't really seen any wrecks, so for a little bit of a weaker field, I'm pretty impressed with that. Looks like we're keeping pace with the 1 and pulling away from the 11, so about the best spot we could be in. Just trying to do the best I can to wait just a little bit to roll on the throttle. Looks like we picked up about a 10th or so on the 1.
V2.
It's not going to be quite enough to be able to get back to him and pass him, I don't think, but just keep working at it.
The gap to Perry. In
Nothing
front
else that
now,
makes me feel like
1.60.
I had the pace to stay with him. Although we lose a little bit, so it looks like we're going to be trading back and forth.
Okay, Jake.
A little bit too shallow of an entry that time.
The gap behind is
See,
now
kind of killed the
0.
momentum off the corner. No pressure at all from the 11. We're pulling away big time. We've almost doubled that gap. It's up to 1.1, and we're still right around 1.6 with the leader, so
That lap was at 8.
had I been able to get by the 11 and the 12 a little bit faster, maybe we might have had a chance to run with the 1, but I knew it was going to be a tough one, especially when I did not get a good start. But we're sitting solidly in 2nd, so right now, a stress-free race is really what I need. Let's just hope that the 9 doesn't provide any sort of issues. No, I'm losing a little bit to the 1 now, but really just kind of taking it, you know, running at 90-95% just to make sure that I don't run the risk of getting into any trouble at all. Chances of me getting back to the 1 and passing him are so slim that I'd rather run a little more conservative, lock up a 2nd place, and you know, be able to keep it safe and start the rebuild process like I want. Closing up on the 9, he gets into the wall. Thought he was going to stay high, but
Coming up on your
he goes slow.
He's
Should
still
be
there.
able to clear him this time going into 1.
Still there. Outside line's clear.
The gap to Perry ahead.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
1.89.
Lost some time to the 1 with that, but that's not a big deal. Like I said, I can't take as many shots as I would like to. We are halfway down, though.
You're halfway home. Got plenty of fuel.
At the checkup because I thought the 9 was going to go high, and then all of a sudden he just kind of cut back low. Got a little too early there on the throttle side of the lift to keep it out of the wall. Coming out of 2. That's the difference between the guys that can run this class consistently fast and the ones that are off a little bit. It's that just a bit of a difference of when you pick the throttle up that makes all the difference in the momentum in the car. You can see just by that, I was able to pick up a tenth of a second from the lap before.
120. The gap behind is now 1.34.
12 was actually able to get by the 11, 12 and the 3 both, so we'll see if the 12 closes back up at all, though he's going to have a tall task to get back to me, the gap being at 1.4.
The lap time was at
We'll watch the gap to the 1, it was at 2.4. Yeah, we're still losing time to the 1, but keeping steady with the 12, so.
You've just done it. 18.
Second place is exactly where I'm supposed to finish. It's ahead of where I qualified, so all in all, if that's what I can do, that was about as good of a result as I could draw up given what I was trying to accomplish out of this race.
That lap was at 18.24.
Would have to spend
Is now
a lot of time
1.56.
working the line if I wanted to be a little bit quicker here. Just brush the wall ever so slightly with the right front. Thankfully no incident points. Yeah, I would definitely have to spend some time working through different lifting points and getting the gas back on,
2.2.
as well as turn in and overall arc through the corners to figure out what's the most optimal. I haven't really practiced this much. I kind of went based on how I drove the track before the last time when I ran this, and it was actually an open series race, so the setups were a lot different in terms of the balance of the car, so just tried to modify what I knew, both when I tried to run this before and in this one, so not as good as I probably could do, but not horrible. I mean, again, we're in a pretty weak strength field, so I should be better, but it's not terrible. For limited practice, I'm pretty happy with my pace, especially because it's been, I don't know if I've run a fixed series race yet in this class. I know I ran an open series race or 2 at the beginning of the season, but I don't think I've run any fixed this season, so it is definitely a little bit of a driving adjustment. Gap's up quite a bit up to the 12 behind. 11 is back there running in 5th. I think the throttle way too early. With that, it's going to cost a lot of time to the 1, but again, with only 9 to go this time by, unless he has some sort of mistake with the lap traffic in front, we're not going to get to him.
Hurst has just been disqualified.
And that's okay,
Done at 18.41.
because I'm still running exactly where I'm supposed to be. Not a very exciting last 3/4 of the race or so for you guys. Feel bad, not much traffic, but I also don't feel terrible because I need as clean of a track as I can to keep the incident points down. 1 gets by the 8 with no problem. 13 is on pit road. He disconnects, so he's not going to be a factor coming out, and I don't think the 1's going to get to the 14 before the end of the race. We're going to have 6 to go this time by. But I provided a little bit of a side-by-side battle with both the 12 and the 11 for a few laps, so give you guys something a little exciting to watch. I definitely think if you're on the oval side and you want to learn
The gap behind is
how to keep momentum up, this is a good class for that. It's good and bad, compared to like a truck series that also requires the momentum to be kept up. You don't have to worry about tire wear as much in this compared to that, so that's kind of a drawback to it. But if you're just focused on momentum, like if you haven't learned either one, if you just want to focus on one thing at a time, this is a good way to do that, and then you can add in the tire saving aspect of it as well. I think when it's on a little bit shorter tracks than this, Wilkesboro is 5/8 mile. The racing can be even better, especially when there's a little more off throttle time. But this is definitely a good one if you really like. If you can get fast in this and keep momentum up, it'll translate to a lot of other classes that require that, and it'll be good for your development. So, and it's nice that it's, if you don't have a ton of time commitment, runs every 2 hours. It's a pretty quick race, no caution, so you know roughly how long it should take.
You got one right side.
It's a good race in that sense.
Clear outside.
And if you get the modify, you also get the tour mod with it, so it's like you're getting 2 cars at once, which is a bit more of a deal if you're buying a car.
Keep it together, we'll be on the podium.
And if the races would run, I personally love driving the tour mods. I haven't done very many this season, but it's a lot of fun, so. Sorry for talking about rambling stuff, just not much to call out. One gets the win, we bring it home in second. No incident points, thankfully. Pretty uneventful for the most part, which is what I needed. So we'll pull it off here. Take a look and see what incidents did happen. We can take a look. I think I actually want to go back to that start. We'll focus on that first and see what incidents happened. So, didn't get a great start. Like I said, the 1 was able to pull away, the 11 was able to slot in front, so I was fine with that. And then just being real cautious, the 12 was... I was probably being a little more gun-shy than I needed to be, but the 12 seemed like he was a bit all over, so I was just trying to run him on the inside. Because I thought trying to get by, sliding behind and get by on the outside was going to be a lot tougher, so I was trying to give him, basically a lane and a half to the top. That way he had it, and then, same thing on the corner entry, so I don't think I cleared him quite yet. Okay, so there was netcode. Netcode seems to be getting worse lately. I mean, I know I was drifting up the track. Hadn't quite cleared him yet, so that's a bit on my part. So we're real lucky that the netcode didn't turn me. That's where we, made actual contact, but the netcode was still kind of in effect. And I'm kind of lucky I didn't get assigned a 2x out of that, or a 4x, because I definitely was coming up more than I thought. But that was the point when I was able to clear him, so no issue there. I'll close up. Fast forward to when I catch the 11, which we're there now. And this was when I was trying to figure out how to work, so he went way low, and I figured it was going to push him up the track, so that's when I tried to get the run, get on throttle earlier, and cut back to the inside. We were getting the run down the backstretch. He stayed way high going into 3. He gave me quite a bit of room that way. It might have been a little bit of netcode. I was thinking he was going to go further out to the wall than what he did. And then I decided to adjust it and, again, give him, almost 2 full lanes, 2-car whisk there. And I think he kind of lifted and decided it was better to not battle us and have the 12 get closer than to just give up the spot and stay in 3rd, which ultimately didn't work out for him. But while we're at it, let's take a look at the other incidents. So, 12 gets the wall on the entry. What's the 3 gonna do? Get the wall coming out? Oh yeah, he gets the wall big time out of 2. 10's back here mired with the 14 and the 6. He just kind of gets into the 14, it looks like. Let's see. So 14 is trying to stay high, and I think the 14 starts coming back down a little bit, and I think the 10 expected the 14 to stay higher, so he probably got back to the throttle and just drives into the left rear, so kind of a racing deal. I don't know, I guess I'll assign it to both, and then he blinks. 13 avoids that, goes low, gets in the grass, it's going to tag the wall, spin around. That's on the backstretch. 5 is on the inside of the 9. Whew, that's a bit of an interesting contact there, let's see. Because the 5's holding low to get by him. I think the 9 drives down, honestly, into him. I think I'm going to put that more on the 9 than I am the 5. And then that's the end of the race. The 1's going to do his victory burnout. So, like I said, about as uneventful as it could be. I know it's kind of boring to watch, but it's kind of what I needed, honestly. Look at the tires, 88, 89. That's why, I mean, you can see I was leaning on the right front so hard, not really trying to tire save too much, and that's what it does. Temperatures were balanced, a little bit more pressure, which caused a little bit of tire condition. That's kind of how the fixed setup works. It's why tire wear is not really a thing in these. Even temps have gotten to the point where they're not as big of a deal. So it's good for momentum, and then you can add in the aspect of tire saving. So let's take a look at the results. Hoping to see positive things. All right, this is actually two split race. Wow, 1791 strength feels really, really weak. Like I said, um, able to gain 0.25. So again, the safety rating's torched. I was at like 1.3 something coming into this, so 1.39 I think. So to get 0.25 out of it, it's going to take a lot of races to clear out the incidents per corner that I had before. But it's a step in the right direction. Should be, every few races be able to get the 0.4 bump as well, which will help me get back up. I want to try to get back to like 3.3, 3.4, something like that where we were before, and at least able to pick up 54 in iRating. So it's far cry off from where I was. I think I was like mid 2800s or something like that. So we're well off of that. But I just have to take each race as doing the best that I possibly can, and to try to pick up some opportunities out of it. So I guess one positive I can take out of it is we did technically have the fastest lap. So while that didn't translate into fastest pace and a win, at least I had the pace to hang with the leader. I just, had those battles at the start that kind of put us a little bit behind. So feel free to leave any driving tips, any suggestions you guys have. Love to hear from you guys. Like I said, sorry for a little bit of a boring race the last, half to three quarters there, but it was what I needed for my sanity and trying to get some of the stats back. So let me know if you guys want to see more of those too. And until the next one, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.